So we
got it.
Right, here we go. I got my laptop up here. Oh man. Patching phenomena.
Here we are. What's it all about? This patching phenomena.
Yes,
Let's
patching
get this.
phenomena.
Every time I hear phenomena, I'm like, phenomena. Do, 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 do. It's the old Muppets. And so I was like, I love that title. I love it.
Learn. All right, and I'm going to share it on the
There
page.
you go. We got some people coming in.
All right.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome. We're just streaming right now on Facebook. That way I can check it in here, turn my volume down on this thing. Make sure we don't.
Hi, Christine.
All right. Good
Hi,
evening,
Brianna.
everyone.
Hi, Anne.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Here we are, patching phenomenon. So my name's Kate Andrews. I am a LifeWave director and part of the Patching Partners team. I have on with me Carrie Bailey, also another LifeWave director, manager. Either way, we're all doing, I mean, we love LifeWave, we love the patches. And so I wanted to bring everyone in and do a quick recap. Please let us know in the chat or raise your hand or whatever if you have any specific questions about patches. This is really kind of like an open forum. But I kind of wanted to start off just by saying like my favorite patch for the week. So for me this week, my favorite patch has been Eon. Double whammy Eon, because I spent 6 hours yesterday digging, pulling weeds, digging some more. I mean, my hands, my fingertips, I couldn't even touch them last night because they were tingling and so sore. I couldn't even go to sleep. I slapped 2 of these on, everything went down, everything went away, and I was able to sleep last night. I have a little soreness in my palms, but I was out there for 6 hours laboring away and I feel great. So thank you, LifeWave. I don't have any crazy pain. And I don't know why my thing's making so much noise. Yeah, so that's my favorite patch for the week. Love it. Harry,
I have been very much enjoying the energy enhancers. I find that they help move like stuck energy around my body too. They give me tons of energy, but not like jittery energy, just like that go, go, go. You know, I'm like out exercising and I'm like, oh, I could just do another round of that. And I'm like, all right, well, that's unusual. Normally I'm like, all right, I'm done. I finished that, check the box and move on. But yeah, the energy enhancers and my X39.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Just to kind of, recap with those 2 patches. Those are 2 of the most popular patches. David himself wears X39 during the day and Eon at night. We do have a patch that's Silent Night for the nighttime, but what David says is to wear an Eon at night because it does help that cellular stress and reduce that cellular stress so that your body can sleep, which is really fantastic. I don't know if you've ever tried it, Carrie, but my mom, who's been patching for almost a year now.
Yeah. We're coming up on our anniversary for all of us. Yeah.
Our year anniversary. She tried the Silent Night and just wasn't in love with them. And then after, the whole product webinar with David, where he was talking about Eon at night, she tried it and she was shocked. She's like, I didn't even wake up to pee. It was amazing. So
now, I love the Aleveda at night. That's really my go-to nighttime patch because I feel like no matter what creams and all these other things that I purchased for like exorbitant amounts of money to put on my face to help with wrinkles, I literally put this patch on. I get a great night's sleep and I wake up in the morning and it looks like I had, hundreds of dollars worth of cream on my face. And literally it was just a patch. And I washed my face with my soap and threw on like a little of my glycolic acid cream. But it looks like I went and had like, an expensive facial. Like, I love the aloe vera. I can't, ladies, you need the aloe vera.
Yeah.
You need it in your life.
It is pretty amazing. And let's talk about the benefits of it, because it's not just wrinkles. And I think that's what sold me on the aloe vera.
I remember sending you the stuff. I was like, look at the research. You have to try this. It's not just for your skin.
Amazing. And let me pull it up real quick here, because it was really, I was reading it going, are you kidding me? I need to be wearing this. So I think it was in November last year, they ran a deal on it. And I bought a bunch of them. Science and patents.
I think I still have a couple from the deal as well.
Yeah.
Because I just stocked up because I love them.
Yeah.
I also got the trio last week, and it's just like, oh, I haven't had the creams in a while, and I forgot how much I love them.
Yes.
I wasn't even using the creams. I was just literally using the patch.
All right. So I'm just going to go right to the bottom of this. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can all read it and the amazing effects of aloe vera, because if there's one thing I've learned about these patches, it's not, okay, they do one thing and the company says they do one thing. But if you dive deeper into it, there are so many other benefits that the company doesn't necessarily claim because it's been done in a research paper or it's been done somewhere else or it's a testimonial claim. So either way, let me share the screen real quick so you can see. So I'd love to paraphrase. But showing that aloe vera worn 5 nights consecutively a week with 2 nights off for 30 days improved the physiological functional status, frontal lobes, hypothalamus, adrenals, thyroid, pituitary, and the liver. I mean, come on. Thyroid, that's why I did it. Thyroid.
Well, in your hypothalamus, that's what brings your balance and your homeostasis in your body. It controls, hormones. It controls your temperature regulation. I mean, it is, the main spot of your body to bring that balance in.
Yeah. Krista, what is your favorite patch for the week? What's your patch of the week this week?
I am so into Energy Enhancer right now.
That was the one I said. Same answer.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, and I mean, Kate, I'm just like really alive about life right now. And I'm finding it hard to relax at night. And I keep working on stuff because I'm just excited. Right. And so then I'm not sleeping well. Like I was up late and then I had a full day of stuff today. So literally I put this on and I love to wear it on my wrist. I try to wear it on my feet sometimes, but it doesn't stay on the bottom of my feet. Some people don't have problems with that. This is where I love to wear it. If I put it on the inside, it comes off when I sweat too. So it's just there. And maybe it's also me just seeing it, it's also that aspect of just seeing the patch on my body and what it's doing for me, in addition to what it actually is doing. But I have it on 10 minutes. I don't need the days I have it and I don't have coffee. I don't miss the coffee. Let's just say that. Like I am wide awake, fully present. I just had a client session for the last 2 hours and, was going through deep philosophical, spiritual coaching stuff. Right. And I'm like, I'm so on point. My mind is healthy. It's sharp. And I've also noticed when I wear Energy Enhancer, I could go out for a walk right now, come back at like 7, 8 o'clock at night and have another hour in me. Whereas the old me before wearing Energy Enhancer was like, I'm toast. Like I'm going to be way better if I just get to sleep and do this in the morning. But I can actually find the energy to do things at night when that's not something I was able to do in the past. So definitely my favorite patch at this moment. Plus, we all know that just having it on your body allows you to burn an extra 300 calories a day. So anyone who wants to lose a few pounds, and I've gained a few in the last few months, I'm also wearing this daily just to support me stepping into feeling great and fitting into my summer clothes again.
It's always good. Summer's here, full swing. Oh boy, I tell you, full swing.
I like my Energy Enhancers here. I wear them on either side.
They irritate me when I wear them there. Do they bother you?
No.
Right again. Okay.
Everybody's different. I love that we all have different preferences for where the patches should go. I mean, sometimes like I literally will just put them on my feet because it's easy. And whoa, hello, Kate. Spotlight.
Oh my, I hit the wrong button. I was trying to spotlight everyone as they talked, and it kind of goes.
Oh, that's all right.
place.
Yeah, we all like them in different places.
Yeah, there we go.
That's-
Okay, you can
It's
talk.
all good.
So I like mine on ST36.
Kate knows all the numbers. You got to tell us where that is.
Oh, yes, sorry. It's 4 fingers down from your kneecap.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll you know what, let's review.
I like them there too.
Let's review quickly on how to find your acupressure points that you want to use. We know from the patches you can really put them anywhere you want. And I have mine on here, Krista, the opposite of you. These are my Eon I put on today. So wait, hold on. Let me get that. There. How's that? Is that better? I don't know. Now we can all
You'll see my face like huge and everybody's small.
I know. That's why I would. Oh, wait, are you still
The
here?
camera must be closer.
No, I mean, I
Move
just feel like,
spotlight.
there we go.
There. How's that? Is
That's
that better?
Yeah, more gallery view. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So to find an acupressure point, the best way to do it is to follow the guide that they give you on the book. So for me, the ST36, I'll throw my leg up here. ST36 is 4 fingers down from your kneecap. So what I do is I do my 4 fingers and then I get around to where that spot is and I kind of just give a little light pressure and you'll find it. You'll feel it. If you just give a little light pressure, you're going to be like, oh, that's a little sensitive. That's the acupressure point. That's where you want to put the patch. And I think the easiest way to find that for me is the SP6, which is on 4 fingers up from your ankle bone, which is where I wear the SP6.
And is that that's on the inside of the ankle, right, Kate?
Yeah, the inside of the ankle bone, 4 fingers up from the inside of your ankle bone. So if you're sitting there now, just put 4 fingers up from the ankle bone and just take your finger around and just ever so gently press. And you'll feel suddenly you're like, oh, that's uncomfortable. That's where you would put the patch.
I've got mine on right there right now. I felt the patch.
So
And
yeah, mine
this is on the left side of the body. Can we clarify that too?
So SP6 is a patch that you wear on the left side of the body. Is it a negatively charged patch and is designed to be on the left side of the body? Typically it's white right, tan left. With the Energy Enhancers and the IceWave, any dual patch systems, which have 2 patches. Krista, hold your arms up. Any patches that have the dual patch system, like Krista's wearing right now, the Energy Enhancer.
The way I remember this too, because it took me forever, I was like, white rhymes with right.
Yes, white right.
Oh, white on the right. Okay, that's how I remember it.
White right, tan left. So if you wear a dual patch system, it's white right, tan left. Typically, most patches are worn on the center line or the right side, typically. But I found, I mean, even just from Grammy's story, she can't reach spots. She had, she's our grandmother. Yeah, she's 91. She just puts one here and puts one here because that's where she can reach. And that's what she does, right? So she was patching for about 3 months. And we go up. And I mean, I thought she looked great. And I was like, Grammy, can I take your picture? She's like, oh, I get flushed this time of night. You know, she's just so adorable. And I said, no, Grammy, you look really great. I'd love to take your picture. So I did. I couldn't believe the comparison. I can pull it up and show you all here.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But that's not even the best part. It's her eyesight. She had some kind of a stroke in her eye
A headache that they said made her
headache.
go blind in 1969 because that's what they told women, like, oh, you had a headache and you went blind. That's just how it is.
You'll be fine. You'll live with it.
You'll be
Right?
fine. You don't need that eye.
Kate,
Yeah,
You're
which,
all right.
she's
You
wearing
can
Energy
adjust.
Enhancer, or which patches is she wearing?
She wears X39.
X39 and Eon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's all she wears. And that's where she wears them. She sticks one here. She sticks one here. But I gotta tell you, sometimes I go up, she's got one stuck to her chin or like.
She had 7 on the other day when I was over there. She was like, Kate said I could wear a lot of these. And I was like, well, I mean, you can. And she's like, I'm wearing 7. I feel great. I was like, all right.
So was it X39 or Eons?
No, she
Eons,
was wearing
she had
multiple
7.
Eons.
You go multiple
Yeah.
Eon.
Yeah,
You don't want to
multiple
wear more than one or two X39, I think, right? We can talk about that too.
Yeah, typically David has said 1 X39 is sufficient. I tend to find if people have extreme cases, surgeries or things like that, that you can wear more than one. my dad, for example, just had a surgery, and he has recovered so fast from it. And I worked with my mom in a patching location for him, but he's recovering very well for someone who doesn't recover very well at all. So let me see. I was going to find that picture of Graham and share with you guys. Just give me a second to find it. Of course, I organized everything, and now I can't find anything. Well, don't wait on me. Go ahead. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Sorry, I was like answering people who were like, I can't get there. I'm almost there. I'm like, just pop in. Just pop
Yeah,
in.
just pop in and say hi. Anyone
Yeah,
else?
the energy is really good. So I just feel like a really high vibration in this group. I just know that we're all patching, but we're also in a place of just knowing that we have so much infinite potential. And this is just beginning as people start to really awaken using this patch system. And, like Sandra, our presidential director, always just talks about, we're ending pain and suffering with this technology. And how amazing is that we have this ability to have people not have to have, certain surgeries. I have a friend, and, we know that we can't have, certain claims that we make, right? But I have a friend who's 75 who was going to have hip surgery. She had to cancel it for multiple reasons because of other health things that came up. So she wasn't cleared for surgery. So it took like 6 months till she could get back in for the pre-ops and all that. She goes in for a pre-op, and she had been wearing X39 and Eon for about 8 or 9 months. And her symptoms were so much better that the doctor said, you're walking, you're not in pain. Like, there's no reason to have this surgery now.
That's
what are you doing?
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
we just know that, and it might be that she still has it eventually, but it's postponing that. So if she can have quality of life, less pain, doing her walks again, bending, sitting up, sitting down, all the things, and having to postpone and, maybe not even have to have the surgery, how awesome. And
Well,
we know
I think that's just a testament to stem cells. Each of our journeys is different. We may not regain our eyesight if we clearly haven't lost it, but look at that. Like, she's regenerating her hip. I mean, that's huge. What will all of our journeys look like? It's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's show you Grammy's journey real quick. So this has been Grammy's journey.
Yep, this is Grammy.
That's Grammy. This was her day 0, was her 90th birthday. A good picture that we had taken of her. And then
Yeah, it was great. We were like, oh, she looks so cute. Look at her.
Yeah.
We're like, holy mackerel. I showed this to someone today, and they said, I don't know if I believe that it's the same person. They said, I think it's a younger sister. I would say that. They're like, if I didn't know you and be like, this is Carrie's Grammy, like, this is our Grammy.
Yeah.
They were like, I would think that was fake.
Yeah.
And I was like, I assure you, it is my 91-year, it's our 91-year-old grandmother. So, but that's how striking the difference is.
Yeah. And I think the best part was when she was telling us about her eye. So she lives with us. We care for her. So I go up all the time and say hi and just kind of hang out. And she's like, my stupid eye. And at the time, I had no idea how blind she really was until she helped me make that graphic for the eyes. I had no idea how blind she was. So she's like, my stupid eye, it keeps crossing the bind of the book. I'm like, what do you mean it? She's like, it's not, staying in its lane, so to speak. And I'm like, are you telling me you can see better? And she's like, well, yeah. I'm like,
but she was kind of annoyed by it, though.
She was
like,
annoyed
everything's
by it.
always changing. So crazy. And we're like, wait, you can see?
she gave you she kind of drew like where she could used to just see a small percentage, very dim, and then it's like expanding.
Yeah, again. Yeah. So she helped me. Yeah, she helped me create this. So I was like, Graham, can you help me, give people a graphic, like an image to explain your eyesight? And so this was the top one. This is how she saw for 55 years. This was her vision.
Yep.
After 4 months of patching, and then even 2 months later, the vision has become that much more clear. It's not perfect, but she can see. I mean, she can see it's amazing. These patches are miraculous. Stem cells are miraculous.
Yeah.
Definitely miraculous.
So I have a question.
Yes.
I hurt myself digging roots out of the garden. It's been almost 2 years. My thigh is swollen. I have pain that goes down my leg. And I've been taking the patches, let's see, since about the beginning of May. And I have not noticed any relief.
Okay.
So what next? I'm
What
hearing
patches are you
maybe.
using?
Yeah. What patches are you wearing and where are you wearing them?
So the X39, I think is behind my neck. And the Eon is on below my belly button. And then I have the energy patches. I put them in a different place today. Where are they? Can't remember where I put them. They're somewhere on my leg. I'm 80. So
Don't look at
you
you.
know, I
You
know
don't look, you look wonderful.
Yes.
well.
My
Thank
first
you.
thought would be the Eon directly on the hip.
Yeah.
I have a lot of success with people that have hip issues, and we put the Eon directly on the hip. So I
Directly
don't
on the
know
hip.
if that could be something that you could try a little bit, like really, concentrate, feel where that pain is, like locate that spot of pain, use your hand, move it around, and wherever it's the most intense, put the Eon there and try that. I have had some success with people doing that. And I know for me, when I have hip pain, the Eon works best for me when I find that point of pain and I pop it right there. I just put the patch right there. And
Well, I think it
sometimes,
starts in
it
the
changes
back.
during the day and I like take it off and move it to other places.
Right. I think it starts in my low back. And when I'm out gardening, if I'm bending over, 'cause I have a
Mhm.
huge garden. When I'm bending over, I really start to feel it in my back. And I know that I have some vertebrae that are not lined up right. I guess maybe you call it this, squished out the.
Okay,
stuff.
yes, the compacted.
So it
And
starts there.
And
But
maybe even try an Eon right there and then an Eon then on the hip. I mean, Grammy does,
like two.
like 2 of them. Yeah. I mean, we've seen a lot of Grammy has really terrible pain and she does get relief with the Eon, and she does you patch her with the IceWave sometimes too.
Yeah, that was the other one I was going to say. If you have any IceWave, I've heard of people kind of forcing that shift in energy, kind of forcing that energy out of there by alternating the energy enhancer during the day and the Eon the IceWave at night on the same points. You kind of switch them out. And there was someone on the team with one of Sandra's calls that was talking about her lower back sciatic. She had a lot of pain, and what she was doing is she said it took about 3 weeks, but she did it consistently with the energy enhancer during the day and the IceWave at night. And it shifted and it's gone now.
So Connie, I think I have the 39 and the Eon. Is that IceWave? Are they the same?
No.
No, IceWave's different. Yeah. It's like a
IceWave
double patch though,
specifically-
like the
specifically
energy
for
enhancer.
pain. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I have one energy patch sleeve, which I just got. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not using the IceWave. I don't think. I think it's just the Eon.
Then
Yeah,
I would stick
IceWave-
with just what Carrie said. I would add I would move the Eon from the belly button to your back, and I would maybe even add an additional Eon to your hip
Okay. That
on the
makes
worst
sense.
location. And I would start, if those are the patches that you have, I would say
Yeah,
that
use them.
that's what you want to do. And maybe next, whenever you reorder, consider adding in IceWave, just so you have it on hand. IceWave is again, it's the dual patch system, just like the energy enhancers.
Mhm.
Except that's the only patch that doesn't actually produce anything in the body. It just solely moves energy. So when you use IceWave, typically, if you're not familiar with the IceWave use, I'll give you a quick rundown of it. But typically you put the tan on the point of pain, and then you take and you test it, and you take the white one and you put it at 12 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, I've tried that. I've tried that.
Okay, you take a drink of water and then you move it to 3 o'clock. And then you move it to, you find out where you can get your pain from a 10 down to a 2. And keep playing with it until you get that point. And
Because
then
basically what it's doing is it's interrupting that nerve impulse that's
Yep.
causing that pain. So you're just, when you're moving it around, imagine you're finding where that nerve is connecting.
Mhm.
And that's going to interrupt that pain. And then when it works, you actually, do you ever get this, Kate, where you feel that ice, that coolness that moves through your body in that place where the pain was?
I don't
And
know.
I assume that's why they call it IceWave, but it's
Probably.
pretty cool.
No, I don't. I'm fortunate enough that I don't have pain anymore with my X39 and my Eon for the most part. Aside from when I do too much gardening, like you have done, then I have my Eon. But you can also try the energy enhancers, just like the IceWave. Like you can put the tan on the point of pain and move that other one around, because it is a dual patch system and it's going to shift the energy just like the IceWave.
I'll
It
do
does
that.
do some other things that IceWave doesn't, but I think you could even try that if you wanted to.
And I got an email today from some lady. She says, where can I want to get some patches. I want to get the LifeWave patches. And somebody else was on there too. And what do I do?
If you don't know them, I would ignore that.
Just
Yeah.
ignore it?
Or just
Yeah.
send them your link. You know, if you're
Well,
signed up
there's
and
like 3 responses. It says, got it, okay, and I forget what the other one was. So, but just send them my link.
are you go ahead, Gary.
I was going to ask if you were a brand partner, if you're just a customer.
What am
Or
I,
prof-
Connie?
Connie,
You're muted.
muted, Connie. Connie, you're muted, hon. Or you can't unmute. I think, Crystal, you're a brand partner. I'm just guessing. Do you want to give me a thumbs up or down, Connie? Do you know? I think she's a brand partner, but
yes, she is.
okay,
Can you hear me
perfect.
now?
So
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she's a brand partner. Crystal, I can help you with that.
Okay.
yeah,
I was
we
going
can
to
get
say,
the
because if
information
it comes
to
in your
share.
email and people are looking for that and you don't know them, I always just ignore anything. But obviously, if it's something you can sell some patches, then send your link right over there. Tell them to come here and we'll help you sell the patches to them and explain it all.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's that?
great questions. I was going to ask, or just add to that too, one of the things that I know I moved through when I started using the patches over 1.5 years ago now was, do I get them in the right spot? Are they in the right spot? And that can be, it kind of held me back from even wearing them sometimes because I didn't want to get it wrong. So again, listening intuitively to the body, where is that point of pain, and placing that patch there, even if when you look at the Eon brochure, the clinically tested acupressure points don't list your pain point. You can also say, I'm going to put this on that pain point anyway. Those are just a guideline of what's been clinically tested as an acupressure point to place that patch. And, there's been times where I will wake up and I can feel my heart saying, put the X39 on your heart center today. So I'll put it here on my sternum. So you get to kind of start feeling into the energy of them, how your body communicates with the energy and the frequency of the patches, because it's all consciousness communicating with consciousness. So, and I was also going to mention one thing, and I'd love, Kate or Carrie to add to this as well. I know that when I have had friends or family who've had surgeries or injuries or a wound, we're told to put, actually, you can put the X39 patch right near that area as well. So that could also be something that I think, Crystal, maybe you want to just put more patches, like even the X39 near that point of pain, and see, and just experiment with that. So
I just have a circle of patches around the area.
Kate can talk. Kate can speak to that.
Exactly how it needs.
Protocol.
Kate can speak to that. Yeah,
Hold up.
my brother had a lot of surgeries and has been really recovering from back surgery. And, it was really meant to be that we found the patches when we did. Krista introduced them to me after I had COVID, and I was really suffering that long COVID and my back was hurting. And I was like, what is going on? I can't live like this. And she was like, hey, you gotta try these stem cell patches. And I was like, yeah, okay. yeah, I'll take 3 months worth. Let's give this a whirl, see if I can get feeling better. And I started using them, and Kate and I, we go away to the shore next week. That's why it's our anniversary for LifeWave, because I literally got the packet of the patches out of the mail and put them in my suitcase and went on vacation with Kate. And I used them for like 2 days. And I was like, hey, can I stick one of these on you? And she was like, you're going to patch me? And I was like, yeah.
You said,
Can I patch you up,
I
babe?
found this patch that tells your body to make stem cells. And I said, shh, don't tell me anymore. Just put it on. And I did, because 3 months before that, I could barely walk at that point. I'm 44 and my knees, according to my orthopedic, are 60. So I couldn't walk without extreme pain. And I have a 5 and a 7-year-old. Like, not walking isn't an option. So more like always running. So they told me, well, we can't do anything for you. The MRI, we don't know what's wrong here. You know, you could get stem cell injections. They're thousands of dollars and not covered by insurance. And I'm like, yeah. 3 months later, Carrie comes to me and talks to me about a stem cell patch. I'm like, shh, don't tell me anymore. I'm doing it. And I've been patching every day since.
Yep.
And how long did it take you to start feeling better?
For me, I would say within 2 weeks, I was definitely starting to get, I didn't have that overwhelming exhaustion. But when I first started the X39, like, fortunately we were on vacation, because the healing that I had to do, I was tired. Like, I would just lay down and take these wonderful, relaxing naps. And I'm thinking, man, this makes me tired. Like, but it was just me healing. So by the second week, I was just starting to feel better. And then I had Kawasaki's disease as a child, and that left me with rheumatoid arthritis since I was 7. So I've always had creaky, achy joints, always, my entire life. And I started to notice, wow, like, my shoulder doesn't hurt, my ankle doesn't hurt all the time, my foot doesn't hurt. I was like, okay, this is nice. And it was something that I was accustomed to just always being in pain, because it had just always been the way it was for my whole life. So it was weird not having that pain. It was very nice. And at that point, I was like, yeah, I love these patches, and I'm just going to keep wearing them. And here we are today, a year later.
If you use them, like, say I use them for 5 years, just say, and they're renewing my stem cells. So if I stop using them, will I all of a sudden shrink up like a prune and that'll be it?
Well, I will say that I did a little experimentation with them through the year that I've been using the patches, because I'm also like a wellness coach, and I work a lot with people. So they come to me and they want to know the ins and outs of the products that I'm offering them. So LifeWave gives us a chart, and it says, you know, within the first day, this starts happening. And then within 3 months, you can expect this. And then you get to like the 6 and 7 months, and then it's like, okay, it's starting like long-term healing. So I started feeling so much better. I was feeling better than I had in a long time. Like most of my life, because of, like I said, with the arthritis. So I thought, what happens if I just do a maintenance and I just cut down on a couple, and I'll still use my Eon and I'll play with some of the other ones. And I definitely maintained, but it was a little bit different than using them every single day. And I took about 2 months off of the X39, where I just was like, I'm gonna try using the classic patches, and I just won't use the stem cell patch, because that's sometimes what people do. So I wanted to see what the difference would be. And I definitely, within, like, after a couple weeks, my shoulder hurt again. My ankle was sore. Like, that's part of my foot that always hurt, that I had forgotten. It used to hurt all the time. I would notice, like, oh, when I walk, that hurts again. So I think that it is something that requires maintenance, but honestly, like, everything does. No matter what we do, nothing is permanent except like death and having to pay your taxes. Those are the only things that are permanent in life.
And that's why
like,
bad diets don't work, because you eat a certain way for a while and then you go right back. So it's like, if you maintain that over time.
It's all maintenance. Life is just all maintenance. So
Yeah, that's what somebody said to me recently. Life is just constantly tuning up.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, I will say that the stem cells that you've made and the new stem cells that have gone in to replace old cells, it's not like you lose those cells overnight. You're just
No,
not
they
going to be
stay.
making any more stem cells to replace old ones. So you're still going to keep those stem cells that you made, and you're still going to have them for the duration of that cell's life, but you're just not going to have any more new ones coming in as frequently as they were before. So you're not going to lose everything that you've gained, but you will be at a different point at that point. So like for me, my knees don't hurt like they used to. My knees used to sound like popcorn when I would go up and down the stairs. I mean, I could never be a ninja. So now I'm noticing they sound more like Rice Krispie treats. Not so much that heavy popcorn. It's the very light, airy Rice Krispie treats. So I can feel a difference in my knee. Now, if I completely stop patching, will the pain come back? I want to assume yes. Will the pain be like it was before? I want to hope no, but I should probably do the same thing Carrie does, but I'm chicken.
I just, I'm all about, I'm a scientist at heart. I can't help it. I like have to test the waters. I have to like see how it is. But I do urge everybody, when you have a nice chunk of time that you've used the patches, like when I was at my 7 months, I went and got all my blood work done. So I went to the doctor, went for a checkup. She was like, oh, you look great. Everything looks good. And I got my blood work done because I wanted to know, does this really make a difference? Because I went from having, I work in epigenetics, and, we tend to be like, oh, you need this supplement and that supplement. And, we have all these supplements. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with my vitamin mineral, my B12, and, my probiotic, just really cut it back and use the patch and then get my blood work done. And my blood work came back like perfect. And that was like iron levels being perfect. That's never happened before in my entire life. And I was like, okay, cool. So, that is eye-opening when you see like something that has just been a perpetual problem for you, for your whole life. And you're like, oh, it's just the way it always is. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, that's a notable difference. And I mean, iron is super important.
Yeah.
Right. Well, all my levels are perfect.
Good.
Lab works or everything's perfect, but I am crooked. I'm not a crook, but I'm crooked. And I was standing like this. I couldn't stand straight up. And I am able to stand straighter now, but it's still real painful to walk and
just keep going. Throw another Eon on there, switch them around a little bit, and you'll find something it's gonna make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sure.
Speaking of your blood levels and getting your labs tested and such, I did the same thing. I have the antibodies now for Hashimoto's. I'll always have Hashimoto's, but my thyroid is in check now. I no longer take any medication for my thyroid, and all my levels are good. Everything looks great. And as long as my thyroid levels stay in the normal range, there's no issue with my thyroid, because it's once that gets out of range that Hashimoto starts to attack. It's a bad thing. But Alavida, SP6, both those patches address the thyroid, which is the reason I wear those two patches in conjunction with my X39.
I'm going to bring in a question about Alavida, because the 2 acupressure points it says for that is, C7 or below the stomach or below the belly button, just like the X39 or the X49. So I was going to ask you, maybe you said this earlier and I missed it, but where are you wearing that? Because when I wear Alavida, it's at night when I sleep typically. And then I want to give those areas of my body a rest. I don't want to have a patch on there 24 hours a day. So could you share where you wear Alavida? Because I don't want to wear it on C7 or below the belly button.
Carrie, where do you wear yours?
I mean, sometimes I just put them on my feet.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep saying that, but like, because I am very sensitive. Like my décolleté area is extremely sensitive. So if I stick a patch here, like you guys get to, I mean, it is angry. So that is not, and it's not the patch's fault. It would be anything. Like, I'm just very sensitive. That's like, if I eat something weird or whatever, like this is where I break out on my chest with hives or whatever. So for me, I'm sensitive to everything. It's just my plate in life.
That's exactly, because you
So
said you wear the energy enhancer here and I can't stand something right there. It feels funny, it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And so when I wear Alavita, last night I tried to wear it, I think right here, but I kind of, sometimes you sweat when you sleep, and then I woke up and it was like sticking on my pajamas. So when I need to find a different place for
I
this.
read, I believe it was Dr. Karen Can. It was an article, and they were talking about putting it like on the bottom of your heel, because that's the direct spot that goes to your pineal gland, and the Alaveda is supposed to work with your pineal gland. So I haven't tried putting
the right heel or either one, do you know?
I believe it was the right heel.
Okay. Yeah, because you wear every patch on the right.
Yeah, I believe that that's what she was
meridian.
saying, because they were talking about it for the article, I think, was just talking about people who have like bladder control issues and protocols for that. And they were talking about Alaveda working with the pineal gland and that being the spot for it. And I was like,
Okay.
another spot on my foot to stick a patch.
Well, you're talking about your foot, and a great spot on your foot is liver 3.
Yes,
Which
that's
is
what
right between the big toe
Yeah.
and your first toe in. If you follow that webbing back just a little bit, like a half an inch or so, right where those bones kind of meet, that's your LV3. That is a point where a lot of the YH systems recommend to wear it. So in fact, when I look up, when I need the brain focus for carnosine, I wear that on either LV1 or LV3.
Yeah,
So,
I put my carnosine there too.
So you could do your Alavita on the LV3. I tend to, again, Carrie won't, but I tend to, if you want to have some good dreams, some crazy dreams, you can wear it right here.
I was wearing the Nirvana there, and that's been nuts too for dreams and energy.
I
stick it on a headband, and then I put the
Yes.
headband, the flat part, up against my skin, because I can't stick it to my face. Like,
I do right here.
That's a great option for people.
Although
that
sometimes
don't
I
want to stick
do
things to their face. You know, they can use a headband. You can use a piece of tape, stick it to the inside of the headband, and put it on your head. You can use an eye mask also, like that you sleep with. I've heard people putting it on an eye mask when they sleep. So yeah, the Alavita, if you want crazy dreams. I don't do that anymore because I woke up that I felt like I didn't sleep. I felt like my brain was just like going all night long, and I was like, okay, we're not going to do that again. I need my sleep.
Well, that's what's so great. Everyone's different. And like Carrie and I were talking before, everyone has their own experience with these patches, and you have to play around and try things to identify what feels good for you. I have a hard time wearing the patches on the bottom of my feet because my feet sweat. But one of my best friends, she's like, I wear almost all of my patches on my feet. So she doesn't have that issue. They don't come off. So everyone's body chemistry is different. Carrie's sensitive here.
But if I have a migraine and it's right here, you will see me with an Eon on my forehead. I did it at the shore, and I walked around like that, and people were like, what's on your head? I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot it was there. I did sell a couple patches, but I probably looked a fool.
Good way to advertise. Yeah. And I remember a while back, David had talked about, David Schmidt, the inventor of the technology, and maybe Carrie or Kate, you'll remember more about this too, but he was really I think Sandra shared it from one of the conventions or the events that she had gone to, maybe in Aruba, but they were talking about the pleural cells, right? And that meaning they are pleural cells being the actual stem cell where the body produces these pleural cells, but they go anywhere that the body needs it. So when the body is activated with the patch and it receives the information to produce copper peptide, and therefore producing stem cells, it goes wherever, like those stem cells are reproduced wherever the body needs it. So that's why everyone's experience is a little bit different. And for me, I always like to share this too, because when I came into wearing the patches, I'd had COVID twice, so I did have low energy, and that was back in 2021. And I started wearing these in November of 2021. My experience was, though, I didn't have any major health issues. I didn't have any major pain in my body. So I really wanted to have an experience because I thought, do I want to share this with my clients? Is this something that I want to even share with my family? You know, I don't know. I want to have this experience. So it was really about month 3 of wearing X39 and Eon daily that I started to feel this surge of energy, like where I could work a little extra at night. I'm popping out of bed with a lot of inspiration and energy, whereas usually it took me a little longer to, you know, get into my day and my routine. And that's about the time too, where I had started to get compliments or comments from other people about month 3. You know, did you do something different? Did you cut your hair? Your face looks different, you know? So obviously we knew there was some remodeling going on with the skin. And that was pretty huge for me because when I was 38, I'm 43 now, I started doing Botox. And when I was 41, I stopped doing Botox because I knew I looked into all the science and what's really happening with these chemicals we're putting in the body. So, you know, I was moving away from my attachment from, you know, not having fine lines and, you know, the aging process, moving into my 40s. And so when I started to receive those comments, I was like, okay, I found the natural way to reduce fine lines. And that's how my body chose to, you know, activate this technology and the stem cells in my body. So again, everyone's experience is different. And, you know, some people's experience isn't immediate, you know, where, oh my gosh, my pain is, you know, from a 10 to a 2 within, you know, a week. I didn't have that. So I just wanted to share that and just, you know, share the experience that everyone's experience is different. And, you know, I've always loved that I never have to, you know, we don't have to sell anyone on this. It's like our job to share it so that everyone can have their own experience, right?
Yeah, you're totally right. Everyone is so different. And there was a gentleman that I patched at an event I did, and I saw him hobbling by me in the event, and I was like, I need to patch him. And I couldn't get the right time to get away. Well, I was giving a presentation and he was sitting in the audience. It's like, oh, here we go. So I patched him, and his pain, through decades of pain, went from a 10 to a 1. Again, I was like, really? I know these work. And that's the worst response to have, right? But every time that happens, it blows me away at how fast that it can happen for people, that it just shifts that energy and your pain's gone. It's amazing.
I do it and I say, ta-da,
Ta-da!
because I try to explain it and they're like, this is magic. And I'm like, ta-da.
That's a good one. Use that.
Just start using ta-da.
So, and you know, when you go into it, you have your checklist of the things that you want done, you know, and you want to address. But like you were saying before with the cells, our body calls. So the whole point of Eon, to reduce inflammation, it doesn't remove inflammation, because if you were to remove inflammation completely, the stem cells wouldn't know where to go to help. So the inflammation calls those stem cells into the area. So we manage the inflammation. We don't completely remove it. So you've got your checklist of those things that you want done, but your body's got its own checklist. And
then we have like acute and then we have chronic inflammation.
Yeah.
So your acute inflammation is where it's pulling to heal. And that chronic inflammation is really, I think, what is affected a little more long-term because it's been there longer, you know? So that's why with the acute inflammation, that's when you have a cut. That's when you're healing. That's when all of those peripheral things that we can kind of see that are initially causing those issues, we see that healing come in quickly. We see those things be taken care of because that's really where the stem cells are going to go first. Like you said, they're being pulled there.
Yeah.
But that long-term inflammation, maybe like Grammy's eye, you know, that could very well be a long-term inflammation that was there. It just took longer for it to go to those long-term. And sometimes we don't even know what those long-term inflammation issues could be.
Yeah,
you know,
your body's got its own checklist of what it wants to heal when it gets those stem cells, and you might want it to do something. Doesn't mean that your issues won't be addressed. It just means that your list might be below what your body's list is. So you just got to give it a little bit more time. Really.
Thank you, ladies. It's been informative. and I do
Excellent.
appreciate it. So I'm going to take my X39. I mean, is that what it's called?
Oh,
Something.
you asked about the pain, the circle. We came back to the circle. I have the circle. Hold on, give me a second. Let me share my screen. I have the circle one. So this is one of the techniques. It's called the flower. This is one of the techniques that Roy Sojourner, who is a senior presidential director, global team. I mean, he's patched probably, last I heard, it was probably 80,000 people. I mean, this man is just like, yeah, he's been patching for it's probably, I would say at least 15 years, patching people. So this is one of his protocols that he's come up with, that you go around that point of pain. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all of these, but this kind of gives you an idea. I used this one on my husband when he was recovering from surgery. And he actually healed so fast that those dissolvable staples that are supposed to just go away and come out, they kind of healed in there and then had trouble coming out. Let's put it that way. So it wasn't, he healed a little too fast, I think. So, but either way, this was very helpful for the pain of his surgery and his recovery from his surgery. So I did this right next to the incision spot. I did it at the hospital. I was quick with my patches and then wrapped them back up so nobody saw anything. But this is one of them. Now, there is an entire, Roy Sojourner has this very long list of things to do. So I've broken it down pretty easy into, let me share this other part with you. This is learntopatch.com. And here at the bottom, there's a blue stripe here that's a blog. And so this blog, there's a pain relief tab for this blog. And this gives you a 3-step process to help relieve the pain. So the first step would be what you're already doing, which is you're drinking your water and you're putting your Eon behind your neck, right?
Mhm.
So then we go back to our pain relief when we go to the next step. I wish it just had a button there and I could click to the next one. That would be ideal. Ideal. All posts. And then step 2. So while you have the Eon on the back of your neck, that's step 1. So step 2 would be, okay, now let's take our IceWaves, or you could use your energy enhancers like you said you have, because you don't have IceWave. And this explains how to use the IceWave. You put the tan on the point of pain, and I've just used his stomach because it's an easy way to see it. But you can see how you put the tan on the point of pain here, and there's a white circle here above it. Then you can move it to each of the different spots, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Your time might be 11:30, who knows? But you got to move it around until you feel that shift in pain relief. And then the last one is, once you have it where it is and you've reduced your pain, you can add an X39 on top of that tan one. So that's kind of his step 3. So if you wanted to reference back to this for yourself, for your hip, this is on learntopatch.com.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else have any questions or any testimony they'd like to share? No? Great. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been wonderful. Join us again next week. Bring your questions, bring your testimonies, bring your friends. Let's patch everybody. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.